Vande Mataram, the song that united Indians in taking on the mighty British Empire, has today divided the politics of our country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the 150th year of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Vande Mataram, today hit out at the Congress party and what he termed was the Muslim League appeasement politics of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru for the stepmotherly treatment given to the national song and its acceptance in the truncated form. The Congress, of course, hit right back, accusing the BJP of debating Vande Mataram today as diversionary tactics from the real issues the country faces and, of course, for political gains in Bengal politics.
वंदे मातरम के टुकड़े करने के फैसले में वंदे मातरम के टुकड़े कर दिए.
Prime Minister slams Congress's partition mindset.
इतिहास इस बात का गवाह है कि कांग्रेस ने मुस्लिम लीग के सामने घुटने टेक दिए और मुस्लिम लीग के दबाव में किया और कांग्रेस का ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को साधने का एक तरीका था.
Prime Minister says Nehru surrendered to Muslim League.
दुर्भाग्य से कांग्रेस की नीतियां वैसी की वैसी थी है और इतना ही नहीं, आईएनसी चलते चलते एमएमसी हो गया है.
Priyanka defends Nehru's legacy.
आप बड़ी आलोचना करते हैं इनकी, लेकिन अगर इन्होंने इसरो नहीं बनाया होता तो आज आपका मंगलयान नहीं होता. अगर डीआरडीओ नहीं बनाया होता तो तेजस नहीं बनता. अगर आईआईटी और आईआईएम नहीं बनाए होते तो हम आज आईटी में आगे नहीं होते.
Prime Minister's divisive charge on Congress. That is a big focus on India First.
So was Vande Mataram, India's national song, subjected to injustice in the last century, despite its widespread emotional connect, as the Prime Minister put it in Parliament? And is it important for future generations to know about the objections that Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Muslim League had about singing the Vande Mataram? And the objections that some in our country echo even today? Or is there merit in Priyanka Gandhi Vadra saying just diversionary tactics to shift the focus away from the current issues that faces our country today? We debate that. We debate that on the show. Coming up at 8:30 tonight, there's now a 4-member committee that's been set up to probe IndiGo's crisis and whether the airlines deliberately delayed implementing the new flight duty norms and that were put in place by the government. And was it forcing the government to buckle under pressure? We bring you that story at 8:30 tonight and lots more. I'm Gaurav Savant. As always, let's get started with the headlines on India First. Vande Mataram debate rocks Lok Sabha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi targets Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and the Congress party, saying Vande Mataram, first Vande Mataram was partitioned and then India was partitioned. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra responds, the government is distracting from real issues today. IndiGo responds to the massive flight mess. Sources say the letter is highly guarded. Senior officials are to assemble later today. Aviation Minister to address the issue in Lok Sabha tomorrow. Goa police summons senior government officials to join the nightclub fire probe over lapses and violations. 5 accused are in custody. The owners still on the run. Who's to blame for 25 deaths? A day after Congress leader Navjot Kaur Sidhu claimed that the Congress party takes 500 crore rupees in a suitcase from anyone aspiring to be Chief Minister, Punjab Congress unit has now suspended her with immediate effect. court acquits Malayalam actor Dilip of rape charges. The court says the Malayalam actor not guilty. He was accused of abducting and raping an actor. Dilip let off, but 6 other accused found guilty. On the 150th anniversary of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Vande Mataram, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched a frontal attack on the Congress party and on independent India's first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru for buckling under pressure of Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Muslim League. He accused the Congress party of not giving Vande Mataram its due. Now, speaking at a special debate in Parliament on Vande Mataram, the Prime Minister said Vande Mataram, the national song, was opposed by Jinnah. Now, instead of opposing Jinnah's theory or Jinnah's thinking, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru succumbed under pressure of the Muslim League. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, she hit back and she sought to know the relevance of the topic of this debate, insisting it wasn't aimed at anything except either Bengal elections or as diversionary tactics from the issues facing the nation today. We get you more in our top story tonight.
Matram, Matram, Matram.
150 years after Bankim Chandra Chatterjee penned Vande Mataram, the song that stirred a generation is now the centre of a full-blown political face-off in Parliament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi opened the debate. The charge was direct.
लेकिन इतिहास इस बात का गवाह है कि कांग्रेस ने मुस्लिम लीग के सामने घुटने टेक दिए और मुस्लिम लीग के दबाव में किया। और कांग्रेस का ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को साधने का एक तरीका था।
Slamming Nehru for succumbing to Muslim League pressure, he questioned the Congress.
दुर्भाग्य से कांग्रेस की नीतियां वैसी की वैसी थी है और इतना ही नहीं, आईएनसी चलते चलते एमएमसी हो गया है। कांग्रेस और उसके साथी और जिन जिन के नाम साथ कांग्रेस जुड़ा हुआ है सब वंदे मातरम पर विवाद खड़ा करने की कोशिश करते हैं।
The opposition hit back immediately, calling the Prime Minister's speech selective, misleading and politically timed.
सर भाषण बहुत अच्छा देते हैं, लेकिन तथ्यों के मामले में कमजोर पड़ जाते हैं। बहुत कमजोर। और जहां तक जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी की बात है, जितनी देर हमारे प्रधानमंत्री देश के प्रधानमंत्री रहे हैं, 12 साल हो गए हैं, लगभग उतने ही सालों के लिए जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी जेल में रहे। किस लिए? इस देश की आजादी के लिए।
She also alleged that the Vande Mataram debate was a bit to distract from pressing national issues.
सदन का कीमती समय, जिसके लिए हमें यहाँ पे जनता ने भेजा है, जैसे हमें जनता की समस्याओं को हल करने के लिए चर्चा करनी चाहिए, इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए, उसको एसी के लिए इस्तेमाल करिए। इनकी राजनीति दिखावे की राजनीति है, इवेंट मैनेजमेंट की राजनीति है, चुनाव से चुनाव तक राजनीति है। कांग्रेस के हर एक अधिवेशन में 1905 से लेकर आज तक सामूहिक तौर पर वंदे मातरम गाया जाता है।
The BJP countered hard, accusing the Congress of disrespecting a patriotic poem and questioning Rahul Gandhi's absence during the debate.
वंदे मातरम के साथ हुए राजनीतिक छल और अन्याय के बारे में सभी पीढ़ियों को जानना चाहिए। इसीलिए इस संबंध में चर्चा हो रही है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की भावना में विश्वास रखने वाली विचारधारा को खतरा माना गया। यह बात कोई रैंडम थॉट नहीं थी अध्यक्ष महोदय, यह एक ऐसा पूर्वाग्रह था जिसने तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को जन्म दिया।
इतनी बड़ी बहस, राहुल गांधी गायब, एक बार तो सुनने भी आ जाए भाई। इतनी बड़ी ऐतिहासिक बहस है जो राजनीति के ऊपर होनी चाहिए, कभी सुनना भी चाहिए तो नहीं।
Congress pushed back, reminding the House that the Vande Mataram and the tricolour led the Quit India movement. Symbols it, says the BJP's ideological predecessors never embraced.
मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि 1942 में जब भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन था, तब आपके राजनीतिक पूर्वज कहां थे? आपके राजनीतिक पूर्वजों ने लगभग 52 साल आपने ना राष्ट्रीय तिरंगा आपने अपने शाखाओं में लगाया, ना राष्ट्रीय नेशनल एंथम अपने शाखाओं में कहा।
A song written as a salute to the motherland, now a fault line in the politics of New India. The question remains, can Vande Mataram still unite as it once did, or will it remain a battleground for competing political narratives in the run-up to 2026? With Aishwarya Paliwal and Mausami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
So is there merit in the Prime Minister saying Vande Mataram is not getting its due because of Muslim appeasement politics of the Congress party? Or is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra right in asking what's the relevance of the Vande Mataram debate in today's times? Joining me on India First, Tuhin Sinha represents the Bharatiya Janata Party, national spokesperson of the BJP. Bhavya Narasimha Murthy is the national spokesperson of the Congress party. Ratan Sharda and Ashutosh are both authors and political analysts giving us two different perspectives. Tuhin Sinha, Vande Mataram is the soul of Bharat. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra asks, why this debate in the 150th year unless the BJP wants to either exploit it politically in Bengal or divert attention from the current issues the nation faces today, sir?
Well, good evening, Gaurav. Good evening, everybody. You know, as Honorable Prime Minister explained, that when Vande Mataram completed 50 years, India was still facing the hostility of the Britishers. When Vande Mataram completed 100 years, we were facing hostility of a different kind by the then Congress government in the form of emergency. So when we celebrate 150 years, which also coincides with the 150th birth anniversary of Sardar Patel and with the 150th birth anniversary of Birsa Munda, it is high time we settle certain contentious issues once and for all. Now, what are these contentious issues? In 1937, a good 55 years after Vande Mataram was first brought out in the novel by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, Jinnah expressed certain apprehensions over certain stanzas. Instead of standing up against it, Nehru acquiesced and he wrote to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to reconsider those stanzas, after which the stanzas were deleted. Now, why it is very important, that particular caving in of Nehru paved the way to a large extent for the partition of India 10 years later. The kind of appeasement, allow me to complete, I'm making a very important point. The kind of appeasement which Congress has subsequently indulged in, whether it was in 1986 through overturning the Shah Bano case verdict, or in 2006 when Manmohan Singh declares that the first right of resources in India belongs to the minority, particularly the Muslims. These actions are paving the way for potential divisions and potential vivisections of the country in future, which needs to be combated aggressively.
Sir, that's a very grave charge that you level against the Congress party. You're accusing the Congress party of divisive politics, of buckling under Muslim League pressure or Jinnah's pressure or Muslim appeasement politics from 1937 till date. Bhavya Narasimha Murthy, the Prime Minister explained the relevance of the debate in Parliament, saying Vande Mataram, in his view, was subjected to injustice in the last century. He spoke of the Jinnah and Muslim League objections and the appeasement politics that he said Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was following, saying younger generations must be aware of this history. Your response, madam?
Debating today's debate in the parliament for 10 hours. Let's first understand the reason behind this. Prime Minister Modi, during Op Sindur debate, used Nehru's name 14 times and Congress name 50 times. During 75th anniversary of Constitution, he used Nehru's name 10 times and 26 times he used Congress name. And the list goes on, in all the presidential address also. In 22, he used Nehru's name 15 times. His obsession with Nehru doesn't have an end. You know why? Because Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and his legacy threatens Narendra Modi. The only thing he wants to do is malign Nehru to cover his inefficiency in front of the world. Now let's get back to this debate. Are they saying Nehru is the only person who got us the freedom? Nehru is the only person who was responsible for drafting our constitution? Mahatma Gandhi, are they calling Mahatma Gandhi communal? Rajendra Prasad as communal? Subhash Chandra Bose? And more importantly, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore as communal? Because all of them, including Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Sardar Patel, all of them unanimously took this decision of adopting these two stanzas from this poem written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee as our national song. In fact, in 1875, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee wrote only these two stanzas. In 1882, he added 4 more stanzas. And when they speak about appeasing Muslims League, let's not forget the history where it was Hindu Mahasabha, which was in coalition with Muslim League in Bengal, Sindh and Northwest Frontier.
Fair enough.
Ratan
Sharda, the Congress asks, why blame Pandit Nehru alone? You heard, Bhavya Narasimha Murthy say, from Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore to the framers of the Constitution, the founding fathers were on the same page on the acceptance only of the first 2 stanzas. Why blame Nehru and the Congress for Muslim appeasement politics then and now?
First of all, like Priyanka Gandhi fondly said that Modi ji is very poor on facts. Here, Bhavya very clearly poor on facts. Bengal government was not made with Muslim League. It was made with Krishak Party against Muslim League. You don't know, madam. You please read yourself before coming here.
Read history.
So
also,
please. Yes.
In coalition with Muslim League.
Listen. With Krishak Party. With Krishak Party. With Krishak Party. With Krishak Party.
Okay, one by one, I'll come back to you, but let's keep this one by one, please. Go on, sir.
So anybody can check. It was Krishak Party, which later merged with Muslim League under pressure, but it was separate from Muslim League. Because they wanted to keep Muslim League out, they formed a government with Bengal. Point 1. Point 2. See, the main crux of the debate is, I'm not even getting into Nehru and all that, his blunders. See, if you want to debate, there are 2 huge books that I have. 97 major blunders of Nehru. Second book is Himalayan blunders of Nehru. So you have 1,000 pages of history behind blunders of Nehru. If you want to take credit for Nehru's all achievements, you have 150 institutions named after Nehru family, then naturally there is any discredit. You'll have to face that also. Now, appeasement, if you say, appeasement never is able to satiate the hunger of people who want to be extremists, who want to twist your arms. So when you truncated 4 paragraphs of Vande Mataram, you thought you will take Muslim leadership along. It didn't happen. Partition happened. After partition, those who wished to not to speak about Vande Mataram or Matrabhumi, they wanted Pakistan. They got Pakistan into Pakistan. Those who remained realized that this is a nation of majority Hindus and they have to live as per what are the traditional cultures of the nation. But those people are called back by Nehruji not to go because we are secular. The houses in Delhi were taken back from the refugees who came from Pakistan in a very horrible state, and even the mosques were cleared. So this is the example of appeasement going to the next step. Now what happens? Now the same always say, we will not even sing 2 stanzas of Vande Mataram. I want to know all these great talks about Vande Mataram, humne gaya, shuru se humne gaya, humne banaya. Today, do you have the guts to tell your Muslim leadership, the Maulvi leadership, to go and sing Vande Mataram? Because that was accepted, right? It was accepted.
Let me get Ashutosh. Let me get Ashutosh and then Bhavya to respond. Is that the point that's being raised by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? That Congress then came under pressure of Muhammad Ali Jinnah's opposition to Vande Mataram and the Muslim League. The Vande Mataram first was split, then emboldened Muslim League. This led to split of our country in 1947. The country was partitioned, but that mindset remained, and even today there are many who refuse to sing the Vande Mataram, Ashutosh. Even the two stanzas, which nobody should find objectionable, there is an ecosystem that refuses to sing that also, sir.
See, I think what is more dangerous is the distortion of fact and distortion of history. That's the most dangerous thing. I was expecting the Ratan Sharda and Tuhin would have guts to talk about that it was Mahatma Gandhi, it was Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, it was Sardar Patel, it was Subhash Chandra Bose, it was Azad, it was Rajendra Prasad, it was Baba Saheb Ambedkar, it was Kripalani, it was Syama Prasad Mukherjee. All of them were indulging into the Muslim appeasement. Why only picking only Nehru? Why only picking Nehru? I just fail to understand. If you got
so
that
this
guts,
Muslim appeasement is an old disease, that means.
No. If the Ratan Sharda, RSS, BJP has got the guts that you stand up and say, Mahatma Gandhi, you appeased Muslims on Vande Mataram. They should openly say and say, Constituent Assembly, you appeased Muslims and that's why you came up with the Vande Mataram. They should have guts to say that Baba Saheb Ambedkar appeased Muslim and that's why only two stanzas. And I can bet on it. That I'm only saying, how many of them can recite even Vande Mataram? I can recite the whole 2 paragraph. I bet many of them who claim to be the nationalists, they can't even recite one stanza. Forget about 2 stanzas. So the fact of the matter is, Ratan Sharda was talking about Bhavya. Now, who was the Fazlul Haq? Fazlul Haq, the one person who initiated the proposal for the Pakistan in 1940. And why Syama Prasad Mukherjee decided to become the member in the cabinet? Who wrote a letter to the English governor that the Quit India movement should be suppressed? Syama Prasad Mukherjee. There should be shame on it. And I openly saying.
The fact still remains, my question to you, sir, was those who are opposed to singing Vande Mataram even today, the 2 stanzas that you can sing or I can sing, and isn't it such a shame that in our country, people don't know the entire Vande Mataram? Isn't that such a shame, sir? I completely agree with you. You and I are some of those few who can. And I'm sure many of us can. But what about others? Why not everyone? When it united our entire country once upon a time. But let me bring in Bhavya.
No. Let me say. Are you trying to tell us that Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore was wrong? Mahatma Gandhi was wrong, Subhash Chandra Bose was wrong, Sardar Patel was wrong. Are you trying to tell us?
I am trying to say nothing. I'm only asking.
Because
I'm only asking. And even if they were wrong, let's have the guts to debate.
I'm only saying
if it was Muslim appeasement then, it was wrong. If there is Muslim appeasement today, it is wrong.
I'm only saying,
Muslim appeasement or any appeasement should never happen. And that is exactly why. That is exactly why you need UCC in a country. But let me bring in Bhavya Narasimha Murthy. Sir, I want to keep this going because I completely agree. I have not. If they did something wrong then, it must be called out. If someone's done something wrong today, it must be called out. But Bhavya, Pandit Nehru in 1937, and the Prime Minister quoted that in Parliament on Vande Mataram's back, that the background of Vande Mataram could irritate Muslims. Now, because Pandit Nehru believed or perceived it could irritate Muslims, a song that could unite our entire country and that did unite our entire country against the British, according to the government, was not given its due. As Rajnath Singh puts it, Matra Puja is not Murti Puja. Shouldn't this message have been given out?
Why didn't Narendra Modi read out what Rabindranath Tagore's view was on this? Why did Narendra Modi not read out the fact that Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, his own leader, was also a part of this decision? Let's be honest. Let's all just leave this tag of parties and think as Indian citizens.
Sure.
Very common sense. Why is Narendra Modi bringing up Nehru every time in every debate of his? To distract the people of India. You know, right now what he is distracting us from? I'll read it out to you. 25 people are killed in Goa club fire. Thousands of passengers. You saw tears in their eyes
Oh, absolutely.
You saw how they were stranded in airports, how government gave in to the pressure of IndiGo, how government couldn't save its face in that crisis and gave in. And today, even today, by withdrawing that order, lakhs and lakhs of passenger safety is at risk. And then Delhi's air pollution. You saw how even Russian President Putin was not comfortable with it. These are the issues as citizens. They should be, as parliamentarians, they should be discussing in parliament and not waste time on these issues where we know Vande Mataram is sang in every Congress program even today. Whereas RSS took 52 years to even hoist our tri-flag.
Okay, our
Tricolor flag. So please,
of course, on
let's
India Today
not
we have that
pretend.
IndiGo flight list that's coming up at 8:30 tonight.
Let's not do this. Everybody knows who is the reason we have freedom today and who were against it and who were supporting the British
So Tuhil Sinha
during the
respond
freedom
because
struggle.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in Parliament very clearly said since 1905, every Congress session, the first two stanzas of Vande Mataram are sung. Congress says BJP is trying to weaponize Vande Mataram. Is that the effort? Weaponize Vande Mataram and polarize the electorate ahead of Bengal elections, sir?
Well, Gaurav, let me just read out the stanza which was deleted. Twahi Durga Dash Prahan Dharini Kamla Kamal Dal Viharini Vani Vidya Daini Namami Twa Namami Kamla Amla Antul Sujla Sukla Mataram Vande Mataram. Now, Bhavya is a lady. I don't think why she should have a problem with the glorification of Ma Durga, which is an epitome of Shakti. But of course, in 2024, from 1937 to 2024, Congress has reached that level of degradation, that decline, where Rahul Gandhi openly says that the Congress party is fighting Shakti. Now, the second point which they have been arguing is that are there not important issues in the country? Of course, there are important issues in the country, which is why 13 important bills are slated to be passed in this session of Parliament, which includes the Jan Vishwas bill, which includes the atomic energy bill, which includes the insurance bill. In all of these bills, have you seen any input from the Congress party beyond their usual antics of disruption? This Congress party is incapable
Quickly,
of
30 seconds since the point has been raised about the Congress. Bhavya, I request you to respond so that I can quickly bring Ashutosh and Ratan Sharda into the conversation.
Yes. Tuhil Sinha, as a woman, what is actually important for me? As a woman, what is actually important for me and what has been disturbing since morning? A news that 22-year-old female student in National Sanskrit Academy in Andhra Pradesh was sexually harassed by 2 assistant professors, and her complaint was totally disregarded and not taken seriously, and today her parents doesn't want her to study. This as a woman is more concerning for me than our national song, which has been the inspiring song for lakhs of freedom fighters, and till now the Congress has been singing it, and that is enough for us. We are patriotic. You don't need to give us the certificate. But as a woman, this is my question to you as the ruling government. Are women safe? You checked on me. You questioned me as a woman why I have a problem. I have a problem with Narendra Modi. I have a problem with your Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, where you use 90% of your funds on advertising and nothing to do about it.
Tuhil Sinha, quickly respond before I bring in Ashutosh and Ratan Sharda. Tuhil Sinha.
Can you repeat the question? There's a disturbance on the line. Can you repeat the question, please?
So her point is, as a woman, she's very concerned about crimes against women not getting the focus, and she lists out that incident of Andhra Pradesh, sir.
No, so I think we have been the most, we have taken extreme steps to prevent crimes against women, which includes, the increase of conviction, the increase of maximum punishment to life imprisonment for rape. So, I don't think you can confuse, obfuscate issues over here. Like I mentioned, whether it is cultural issues, whether it is historical issues, or whether it is, development issues, law and order issues, all of these require.
I want to
equal
quickly bring in
impetus. All
Ashutosh.
of these
Ashutosh,
require
is there an
important,
attempt at communal
equal time,
polarization
because as a
ahead of
nation,
elections in
we
Bengal in the
can't
garb of
ignore any this
nationalism?
happening
Is
going in.
that the aim to put Congress on the back foot by the BJP?
It's
See,
just
that's a
Bengal
given thing.
elections.
I don't need to even talk about it. That's a given thing. And I don't have to go back in history. You just take out a bunch of thoughts and you know what is the BJP's and RSS ideology. Openly says they're the three enemies of India: the Muslim, Christians, and the communists. And have you heard that any paragraph or any text has been withdrawn which was written from the discovery of India? No. But Golwalkar's book has been withdrawn. Why? What is so wrong with this? So the issue is very simple. I'm not even talking about whether it is linked with the assembly election in Bengal or not. The issue is the distortion of Indian history, because RSS has no role to play in Indian history, and that is why they want to malign the entire freedom struggle. They want to malign Gandhi.
Should entire Vande Mataram now be sung, Ashutosh, in your view? Entire Vande Mataram the way Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay had written it?
I'll go by what Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore has said. I'll go by what Mahatma Gandhi has said. I'll go by what Sardar Patel has said. I'm not too big enough to talk about this. But I
Fair enough, Ratan Sharda. Muslims remain opposed to the imagery of Ma Durga and Ma Saraswati in the subsequent stanzas of Vande Mataram. They say it goes against our religion. Idol worship goes against our religion. Therefore, the founding fathers also accepted just the first two stanzas. Is that okay? That everybody sings just those first two stanzas and everybody, sir?
What is the problem today? That Muslim, so-called Muslim leaders who are part of IndiGo Airlines or part of this secular brigade, they are saying we will not even sing those two paragraphs. I asked in the beginning, will Congress challenge them to sing the Vande Mataram? What is talking about guts? Now, let me be very frank with Ashutosh. First of all, I have written an entire book on RS role in the independence struggle. I will tell you 5 names who were hanged, who were killed. Balaji Raipur killed in police bullets. There was another gentleman who got Phansi ki saja, but then was removed. Hemu Kalani hanged to death. Then Devipat Chaudhary, Jagpati Kumar, police bullet died in 1942. Congress leaders stayed in RSS houses during the 1942 underground movement. You can check the Shinkar himself, a congressman, resigned from Congress saying, why are you maligning RSS? RSS since complete Vande Mataram right from day one. Now coming to the main issue. When you talk of Ambedkar, will you talk of Ambedkar's thought on Pakistan? Will you say Ambedkar said we should have full exchange of population? They will not say that, doesn't suit the narrative. I openly have said many times, Mr. Ashutosh, that 1921 was the beginning of the crystallization of idea of partition, when Congress, including Gandhiji, appeased the worst kind of Mallapuram Moplas in having the thousands of people killed, and they were quiet on that.
So that RSS is a separate debate that we shall have today. I will have to unfortunately restrict it just to the Vande Mataram issue, and whether all of it, the 2 stanzas that were accepted, should be sung by all, and what should one make of the mindset of those who say we will not sing even the 2 stanzas. And I leave our viewers to judge for themselves. I want to thank all my guests for joining me. Breaking news coming in on the Goa fire incident. It now transpires that the owners of the nightclub, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, they fled to Phuket on the 7th night itself. They flew on board an IndiGo Airlines flight from Mumbai. So IndiGo may have cancelled, hundreds of flights, but that flight to Phuket went. And Saurabh Luthra, that's the founder chairman. You see his image on your television screen of that Romeo Lane, Birch by Romeo Lane. While they claim they will support the bereaved families and those affected, they ran away from the country. So these are just words that you get from them. Deeply shaken by the tragic loss of 25 lives, stand in solidarity with the families of the deceased and those who are injured. The Goa nightclub owners, they fled to Phuket within hours of that blaze. I want to bring in Divyesh Singh for the latest, who joins us with more on the story. So bring us details. The officials were arrested. The Administrators of the club were arrested, but the owners fled. They didn't join investigations. What more do we know about Saurabh and Gaurav?
Well, Gaurav, exactly. Saurabh Luthra and Gaurav Luthra, both brothers who were running this ill-fated nightclub, Birch by Romeo Lane, where this fire incident happened and claimed 25 innocent lives within 5 hours. Let me tell you, precisely within 5 hours, they have reached Mumbai. From Mumbai, they have boarded a flight to Phuket, and that too on an IndiGo Airline flight. IndiGo may have cancelled several flights. There are several flights that have been cancelled for domestic, for international passengers as well. We reported that there were several foreign passengers who had been stranded at various airports across the country. But these brothers, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, managed to get on board an IndiGo flight, and which actually flew from Mumbai to Phuket on 7th December at 5 a.m. That is exactly within 5 hours of the incident. Within 5 hours of the incident, these two brothers had
they didn't
the
stay
time
back to
think.
assist.
They
It
did
seems
not appear before the police. They did not.
It's really sad. I hope action is taken. I hope they join investigations, and I hope if there is dereliction, then action is taken after due diligence, and we'll be tracking that story very closely. I have more breaking news coming in on the IndiGo Airlines fiasco that our nation has been facing. So IndiGo Airlines, we are now being told, has responded to DGCA's show cause notice, saying it's realistically not possible to pinpoint the exact cause of the nationwide disruptions recently in their flights. The airline has asked now for more time. It's argued that a detailed root cause analysis is underway. I mean, just because one airline has monopoly, look at how they try to game the system. They try to take India for a ride, Indian passengers for a ride, and this is a litmus test for the government to come clean on the monopoly that IndiGo Airlines enjoys in this country. They're saying that they will conduct. It's not realistically possible to pinpoint responsibility. So the nation loses money, the nation uses prestige. There are thousands and thousands of passengers who are adversely impacted, and the airlines say we don't know what led to this. Preliminary explanation has come. IndiGo blames a complex mix of factors. They had all the time in the world to fix this, but now they're blaming a compound mix of factors, minor technical glitches, winter season, schedule changes, bad weather, system-wide congestion, and challenges in implementing the new FDTL Phase 2, the crew rostering rules. The airline says it is profusely apologetic, but maintains the disruptions stemmed from a series of unfortunate and unforeseen convergence of events, and seeks more time to analyze the root cause. Just how easy is it to take this country and its administration and its systems for a ride is a question that the government and the DGCA need to think. You can't take Indians for a ride, and not all the time. But I want to bring in Amit Bharadwaj for more on the story. Amit, this sounds like a series of excuses that's coming from IndiGo, but how serious is DGCA and the government in pinpointing responsibility and taking action, or will Indians be taken for a ride again?
Gaurav, you had 24 hours to respond to a show cause notice. You sought another 24 hours to reply to the show cause notice, and this is what you come about. 5 reasons, none of them, except for the FDTL norms, is something that would be taken up seriously by the DGCA as the excuse or an explanation for what has unfolded in the aviation sector of the nation for the first time in its history. Now you go by the list that has been put out by the IndiGo. Weather conditions. We are living in a country where the railway network has not even reported a single delay because of the weather conditions, the fog conditions, winter conditions. And here is an airline which is citing that massive disruption that happened is because of the weather conditions.
Just how easy is it if an airline has brute monopoly to game the system and take this country for a ride? And why is it that other airlines were able to fly in the same weather, but IndiGo wasn't? The DGC has confirmed it's received IndiGo's response to the show cause notice. Now, what we are being told, DGCA says it's currently examining IndiGo's response. Enforcement action, as deemed appropriate, will follow in due course. DGCA said it will take action after IndiGo's final response. It's currently the preliminary response that has come in. Now, are these delaying tactics, or does the government also realize that it seriously has to take action if there are lapses by IndiGo Airlines because of its brute monopoly? Amit.
We are given to understand that, after the first round of meeting where the government wanted the operations to be back on the track, now it seems that stringent actions are on the card, because I had spoken to several people within the ministry as well as the Union Civil Aviation Minister, Ram Mohan Naidu, and he had said that we will take such an action which will become an example for the rest of the operators, that they cannot take the ministry so lightly. So definitely the mood within the ministry seems to, looks like a changed one. But despite that, you have IndiGo, which has, in a way, without stating it, sought at least 15 days to file the RCA, root cause assessment report into it. While the CEO and COO of the company were asked as to why this massive disruption happened. And
it also remains to be seen whether the higher-ups who are responsible for this, Amit, they don't take the next flight to Phuket or wherever else to be out of the control of Indian agencies, should action be deemed against those responsible. But track that story, I'll come back to you for more. Because not just the passengers, India's prestige was taken for a ride with IndiGo Airlines fiasco. And that fiasco that continues even now. So was IndiGo using its brute monopoly to ignore government directives and norms? Can IndiGo get away by saying it failed to estimate crew requirements under the revised norms? Or is IndiGo actually trying to bully the government to back off? Joining me on India First is Captain Kabir Malik. He's a commercial pilot. He's an aviation expert. Captain Malik, your appreciation. There's a 4-member committee that's been formed. Can IndiGo actually say it's a compound reasons, and to get to the root cause we need 15 more days?
See, Gaurav, I would like to tell you regarding this thing, which they replied in the show cause notice to the DGCA. It is completely false, and there is no point to be take sympathy or excuse of their moral duty, because it is all happened because of their negligence. It is in their knowledge from a long time back, and it is everyday part of their operational exercise, which they are saying that there is a technical glitch, weather condition, and so and so. No, it is not there. It is this airline is not a 1 year or 2 years old. It's more than 15, 16, 17 years old. And I'm telling you, they are taking excuse because of many kind of technical issues. No, it is not there. It is completely.
So can it say that it failed to appreciate crew requirements under the revised FDTL norms, or training or roster issues that cropped up?
Yeah, Gaurav, it is completely failure of their not amending and execute their FDTT rule earlier in past 2 years. And suddenly they turn up their language towards of that. It is all because of so many, this reason, Allah blah. No, it is not there. Because the government already notified them in 2024 and issued this FDTL notice also. But they roll back twice, not one, twicely. And this is the third time which the notice issued to every airline, especially not to the IndiGo. The other airlines, they are operating and they are doing, their smooth operation these days.
Yes.
But because of the biggest aircraft fleet, they have IndiGo, and they're just covering 64% of aviation sector in India. And they, according to that, they don't have a competent flying crew and the cabin crew. So that is their moral duty. In the earlier stage, more than a year back, they have to be appointed more crew and more cabin crews, but they were not appointed. They were taking it very lightly, and they are
so
just
they were using the monopoly that they control more than 60% of the market. Exactly. So they were trying to play the system, force the government and the passengers to go down on their knees. Now, passengers are important. pilots and crew, their rest is mandatory. Passenger safety is supreme, so that, flight safety is not compromised. Was IndiGo trying to compromise even passenger safety?
You see, Gaurav, how dare do you just take a compromise on the passenger safety? It should not be there. It should not be there, not at all. Secondly, companies also does matter to our country because they're generating lots of revenue in the aviation sector. But in place of that, you are going to take excuse that if we are the largest one and our monopoly will be there and we will be just command on things, even on the government and ministry also. No, it should not be there. Government have to take some legal action in the article of 21, because all the passengers, those who face many problems, and these days also continue. The problem is not gone. The problem is continuously going on every day. And I'm telling you, this is not going to be okay in 1 week or 2 weeks.
So I want to understand from you, Captain Malik, as a commercial pilot, as an aviation expert, trade was impacted, tourism was impacted, hospitality was impacted, the credibility of a country was impacted. Will an inquiry reveal who is to blame? Was IndiGo trying to game the system? Was IndiGo trying to bring bad name to our country for whatever reason? And whoever was trying to think that because they have 60% of the market, they can get away with whatever they want. Can responsibility be pinpointed, or can they get away by saying it's a complex web of reasons? No one can be blamed.
They have to be realized. They have to be realized, and they have to took the moral responsibility. It is their mistake, because all management system had been failed in this operation, and they are ignoring completely and deliberately in the past few years. And because of that, the consequences we are facing, even the government are here to responsible and have to be answered in the fair way to the country people. And we are facing internationally also, because in aviation sector we are losing our image. I tell you, this is the company in 2024 where Forbes praised this company that IndiGo is the largest and biggest airline in the Asia, and in upcoming time it is the future of world. So, but they ruined their name because of their management and their monopoly mentality. And this is the reason only. In these days, our government, our people, and the revenue sector.
This is very disturbing, Captain Malik. I will come back to you for more, because we'll be tracking the story very, very closely. An airline cannot be first. It has to be passengers first and India first. And that is very, very essential. I have breaking news that's coming in. The Congress party has suspended Navjot Kaur Sidhu from the primary membership of the Congress party. This action comes just 48 hours after her explosive allegation in Punjab. Navjot Kaur Sidhu, just 48 hours earlier, said that Punjab Chief Minister's post was up for sale. She claimed, she insisted that. She said Punjab Chief Minister's post is up for sale in the state Congress unit. Her remarks set off a massive political firestorm. And today, the Punjab Congress has acted against her. So Navjot Kaur Sidhu had claimed that crores changed hands for political posts, and even alleged that the Congress party leadership took money from bi-poll candidates. She said she had call recordings and councillors who were ready to testify. The allegations triggered massive reaction across the political spectrum, and not just in Punjab. Both the Aam Aadmi Party, the ruling party in Punjab, and the BJP and former Congress leaders have called for deep probe into these allegations. Now, there are several Congress leaders who claim, former Congress leaders who claim there is proof of deep corruption in the Congress. Congress MPs, including Sukhjinder Randhawa and Pargat Singh, have said that her claims are extremely unfortunate and anti-party. They've accused her of indiscipline. They've questioned her silence earlier and questioned why she's speaking only now. Navjot Kaur Sidhu had said that her comments were twisted and taken out of context, but by then, the damage had been done. Listen in.
तब वो आएंगे, तब वो आ जाएंगे, पर अदरवाइज वो अच्छा पैसा कमा रहे हैं और खुश हैं, बिकॉज बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन की लाइफ है. हाँ.
आपने एक पैसे की बात करी कि हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है, क्या किसी पार्टी ने आपसे पैसे की डिमांड करी आगे आने के लिए?
नहीं, हमसे किसी ने नहीं की, पर सीएम वही बनता है जो 500 करोड़ का टैक्सी देता है।
So for that comment, Navjot Kaur Sidhu, she's been suspended from the primary membership of the Congress party. We'll be tracking that story and whether her allegations can be backed up by proof or will there be an investigation.